Hey guys, what's going on? It is officially Summerween, and this year, I'm feeling it. Last year, I was not really feeling it. I can't tell you exactly why, but this year, I'm all about it. I am so ready for the Halloween season, and I'm ready to enjoy the feels of Halloween. But this year, I want to celebrate Summerween, so let's get it started. Why don't we just get it started? I'm going to be watching Hellfest and Haunt tonight. I'm going to be doing a video about that soon, kind of talking about the two and comparing them. But what I wanted to do today is kind of kick off some Halloween goodness. As you guys know, like, there's been a vast, rich history of the Halloween films when it comes to home media. I've covered a lot of them. I've covered the releases individually, like Halloween's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, you name it. I've shown off my laser discs, but I can't remember if I've ever talked about this. There was a label that got the home video rights for some of the Halloween sequels, and even a chain that got the rights themselves, or got themselves an exclusive box set. And the artwork on this box set is the most ridiculous looking thing you'll ever see. There's no other way to put it. It looks absolutely ridiculous. But let's kind of go through the timeline real quick. So Halloween started coming out from Media Home Entertainment, and then when Universal put out 2 and 3, I believe MCA's home video line was either a partner with Universal or Universal owned it, one of the two. I'm not exactly sure, but long story short, Halloween's 2 and 3, they had MCA home video releases, and before too long, the movies would get reissued again, and something interesting happened. In the 90s, there was this notion of these movies coming out on home video yet again. I think that Halloween's 2 and 3 got initial releases in the early 80s. Of course, those releases came out on CED as well as Laserdisc. And then they got reissued, I think, in the late 80s and maybe even the early 90s. But I'm pretty sure there was like a late 80s release of like Halloween 2 and 3. They virtually look the same artwork-wise. They have the original poster arts. But something happened. It's a company called Good Times Home Entertainment, Home Video, if you will. Let me say it. It's, Good Time, but just Good Times. There was this bizarre box set we're going to look at that Good Times had a big part of for the Halloween films. Now, if you're thinking about the 90s, you think about home video. Where was everybody at for home video? Well, everybody was going to Blockbuster. Blockbuster was obviously the biggest part of everybody's life. There was a Halloween Trilogy box set that came out, I believe, around 1995 or 6. Okay? Now, this box set we're going to look at has the wackiest art of all time. But it's something I implore you guys to try to own if you can. Now, I got this years and years ago, so maybe it's kind of pricey now. But I want you guys to just feast your eyes on this. This is the Halloween Trilogy Blockbuster exclusive. And you'll even see it has Blockbuster exclusive right there. But what's funny about this is there's a Halloween 6, clearly a Halloween 6 Michael Myers on there. Now, you're probably saying to yourself, why is that on there? Well, I mean, not to justify it, but I think the thinking was, okay, that's the newest film. That's the face of Myers that people are familiar with. So we'll put that on there. Now, maybe you're saying to yourself, well, that's because probably Part 6's VHS tape is in here. No. Look at the fonts on these. Halloween, the original Halloween with this purely 90s scratch font. Halloween 2, which looks like some sort of other Miramax movie at the time, like Phantoms or something with the green glow. And then, ironically enough, the actual Black Sheep gets the actual movie font that it belongs to. What the hell is that all about? And then Blockbuster exclusive. So this box set obviously was something you could purchase at Blockbuster during the time, which is cool that they actually had something for sale. But here on this side, we'll take a look at this. You'll actually see, make sure you get some light on that, you actually see that they have a picture of the VHS tapes in question. You've got Halloween, but something's interesting about that artwork, which we're going to look at. Then we have Halloween 2, which definitely looks wacky, and then Halloween 3. So what is on mine? You can kind of see that there's some kind of film over it or something. So I bought mine used, and it was not in great shape when I bought it. So I had my wife actually laminate the box just to try to preserve what I could out of it. It's helped keep its form and shape a little bit, but all the damage that you see on this thing was damage that already existed, so we laminated it. But with that being said, we've got to open this thing and let you guys see it. What's in here? Oh, here we go. Now my tapes are in great shape. We've got 3 tapes in there. Let's pull them out. Alright, so let's look at the first one. And we've got DVDs after this to show you guys. Now, this is actually wicked cool. Look at this. This is the Halloween Blockbuster Presents VHS tape. I actually like this a lot. Now, when it comes to labels and stuff, I don't know if Blockbuster got this all to themselves to release. Because there's no other... Every trademark in here says Blockbuster. There is no other trademark. There is not a Trankes on here, which of course Trankes has to approve this, but there's no other... Everything. Blockbuster, trademark of Blockbuster, 1995 Blockbuster, all rights reserved. Wow. Here's the tape. Blockbuster Presents Halloween. Now this is just a theatrical cut. This does not have, obviously, the television scenes in it. But look at that artwork. John Carpenter's Halloween, starring Jamie Lee Curtis, PJ Soles, and Donald Pleasance. And there you have it. You got a shot of Jamie on the front with Michael in the background. Blockbuster Presents. Now I also have a Night of the Living Dead VHS tape that was a Blockbuster Presents that I got. That is really, really cool. But this is definitely an interesting little piece of physical media history. But wait, there's more. Feast your eyes on this. This is where Good Times comes in. Good Times Home Video. I'm going to show you guys that label right now. There, you'll see it right there at the bottom. Good Times Home Video. Feast your eyes on this monstrosity. Halloween 2, The Nightmare Isn't Over. Now, at first glance, you're like, okay, that's wacky. You've got the eyes peering through the pumpkin on the front. But look at the name. Jamie Lee Curtis. They misspelled it. Jaime. As you'll see on the front, they spelled it right here on Halloween. It says Jamie, Jamie. And on this one, they put Jaime, Jamie Lee Curtis and Donald Pleasance. So you've got this whacked out Good Times Halloween 2 VHS. And there's the label. Good Times. Yeah, so Good Times was like... They're not a boutique label by any stretch, you know, but they were a company that put out the tapes. While there was essentially some downtime with MCA or Universal, because I guess they figured they'd reissued the VHSs a couple of times, and there wasn't need to continuously do that, I guess. And maybe Good Times had the money to pay the rights that was, you know, simply... it pleased everybody, you know, it pleased the Universal, pleased the, you know, the MCA home video department. So, and the coolest one of all is definitely the Halloween 3 one. As you can see, it actually has wicked sweet art. You got the kids with the shot of them with their trick-or-treat bags the night no one comes home. Now, I don't remember if it's this VHS tape or not, which, by the way, my label is actually coming off a little bit on this one. I don't know if this is the tape or not. There's a rumor that in one of the releases of Halloween 3, there's actually a moment in the hospital where you hear a voice speak over the loudspeaker of saying, Dr. Chalice, please come to medical emergency room or something. That could have been a rumor. But I swear I've heard of that. So that is the bizarre yet fascinating box set for the Halloween Blockbuster trilogy. Now let me put these up. Now, fortunately or unfortunately, the Nightmare for Weird Halloween isn't over yet, because, believe it or not, we have 2 DVDs that are going to rock your world. And I can't wait to look at these. Like I said, guys, you can go on eBay and try to get this. The odds of you getting one in good shape are probably a little bit slim, because obviously it's a VHS box set, so the quality is going to vary. But that's cool. But believe it or not, Good Times managed to hold on to the rights for DVD at the time. Now, these probably came out a few years later. I want to say 1998. Actually, 2001 is the date on this. And I even think the Good Times DVD sold well, because I believe there was a second run of each one. The artwork for this one's going to rock your world. You ready for this? Check this out. Halloween 2, The Nightmare Isn't Over. There's a lot to process on this. Just look at it. Look at the fonts and everything. This is screaming late 90s, early 2000s. I do love it, but it is wacky. Now, on the back, you'll see I got this for $4 at a used video store. And on the back, you'll even see we got our buddy... Good Times loved this image if they had anything to do with it. It's the exact same image. It's the exact same image of Michael Myers from Part 6 with that huge red glow on him. But this is the Good Times DVD of Halloween 2. And of course, on the spine, we've got Halloween 6's Michael yet again. You'll see him right there. Now, the funny thing is the disc is actually really cool, but there's something important to note. We do have a index card for Halloween 2, as you'll see right there. We've got a shot of Michael in the flamethrower fireproof suit where he looks super, super bulky like an Eskimo, obviously because it's a fire protection suit. But what's funny about this release is, yes, I do enjoy watching DVDs. I do think DVDs can still look pretty good, but I'm going to be dead honest with you. Watching these DVDs, these Good Time DVDs, as funny as these discs look and as funny as this is, these, when you put them on your widescreen TVs, these DVDs, they say they're widescreen, but the formatting of them, here's your full TV screen, the image is like 2/4 in, and you've got this smaller rectangle box playing the movie. You'll actually have to zoom in to make the image take up the rest of your screen, because I think they assumed that, well, I think the technology at the time was like these were widescreen, but people still all had 4x3 television screens or, boxed CRT TVs. So they were formatted in a widescreen way, like I think for that, but you actually have to zoom in the image for it to even take up the whole screen. It's super bizarre, But this is a wacky release. The question is, like, I assume these sold well because I said this is a second run. This right here is the second version of this. The first version was a snapper case. Now, obviously, Good Times had Part 3 as well. This one's not as weird, but it's still weird. And that is the Halloween 3 DVD. And they boast about these being widescreen at the top. You'll see that they boast about them being that way. This one also has a production date of 2001. Now, I believe the first runs were 98 or 2000. The back has Ellie and Tom. What a weird back art. And check this out, guys. Here is the index card. You've got all your scenes in there. You got the car explosion scene. And here's your disc. Now, I know this is going to sound weird, but I swear that they use an alternate shot in this film, in this version of the film. Unless I'm going nuts, there's a moment where Dr. Chalice is escaping through the factory, and you get a shot of him, and most of them, I believe, going straight. He's coming towards a camera, running through a room where there's some masks against the walls. I swear in this version you get the other camera that's from the side where you're seeing the walls of the masks and you're seeing like a red skeleton head like from Halloween 3 and some other masks, and you see Dr. Chalice go this way as opposed to him going this way. I could be off my rocker, but I swear like they use an alternate shot in this release. So a lot of us have high definition and really nice releases for the Halloween films, but I love the quirky and I love the wacky. The Blockbuster box set trilogy VHS collection is definitely wacky, and these speak for themselves, the Good Time releases of Halloween 2 and 3. So eBay these, they're probably pretty cheap. Check your used DVD stores, get your Summerween started, and let's have some good times. So there you have it, guys. If you have any more wacky releases you want me to talk about that maybe I haven't, or you just want to hear me talk about, again, I'd be more than happy to. And if you bought these when they came out, let me know. I'd love to hear your stories with them. Thank you guys for watching, and happy Summerween. Take care. Huge, giant thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. Without you guys, this would not be possible. To get behind-the-scenes photos, videos, music, private live streams, and much more, you can subscribe to my Patreon for as little as $1 $1 a month. Thank you to my patrons.